Hi everyone, I'm Gab. We are the Team Accent and we're here to talk about one of the biggest BPO company here in the Philippines. So anyone can tell us what is BPO stands for? Right, it is Business Process Outsourcing and one of the countries that many businesses look to when it comes to BPO is the Philippines. BPO companies currently contribute around 10% of the country's GDP, and these figures look set to continue growing along with the Philippines' reputation. The majority of international research and data companies have placed the Philippines as the number one trending country, the top outsourcing destination. In 2015, the Philippines replaced Mumbai, India as the second-ranking BPO destination and will in all likelihood continue to maintain a high position in the top 10 worldwide outsourcing destination in 2017. BPO in the Philippines continue to experience a positive growth rate. Here is the graph showing you guys the ranking of different BPO company according to the revenue. This survey is from ASEAN Briefing from year 2012 up to now, and top one is Accenture. Do you want to know about Accenture? Come on, let's find out. Accenture has clients in over 120 countries with 200 cities, including us. They offer 170 different languages. They also offer 4,000 different services, and they own verticals in the fields of consulting, technology, operations, strategy, and digital experience. Accenture services are available by companies in a wide range of industries, including insurance and banking. As of 2019, they had an employee strength of 492,000 people, and with reported revenue of 43.2 billion. It all began from outside-the-box thinking of very creative individuals to one look for the very large book and so with the future. So before it became BPO company, it was an accounting firm owned by Mr. Arthur Andersen in 1950. Later, in 2001, Z. Andersen Consulting became a separate company and named itself as Accenture. That name came from one of the employees of Andersen Consulting firm, which is Mr. Kim Peterson, from the word accent and future. Accent is the future. The idea was to use electronic gadgetry as a tool for the better client and helping create a better performance. That's when Joe Glickoff laid the foundation for what it is become. The heritage, some might call that stewardship. It began the way to improve efficiency of General Electric's payroll. From there, things are getting easy very quickly to other industries. Smart ideas started in Chicago, Illinois, and spread like a wildfire in New York, Paris, London, as well as here in the Philippines, and finally, literally the world. As they become truly global network and one of the best company, and they currently rank 36 most valuable brand in the world by Forbes. So it's no surprise that Accenture is regarded as one of the very best BPO companies in the Philippines. So here is one fun fact about them. If you are familiar in emergency hotline in New York, which is the 311 emergency hotline, did you know that they collaborated with the biggest metropolis in US? They built the nation's largest emergency hotline in New York.
And here's one of the reasons why Accenture is still on the top because of these people in front of us. Julie Sweet is a Chief Executive Officer of Accenture and serves on the company's board of directors. Prior to becoming in September 2019, Julie served as a Chief Executive Officer of Accenture's business in North America, the company's largest geographic market. Previously, she was Accenture's General Counsel Secretary and Chief Compliance Officer for 5 years. Julie serves on the World Economic Forum Board of Trustees and on the Board of Directors for Business Roundtable, for which she chairs the Technology Committee. Additionally, Julie is a board chair of Catalyst and serves on the and serves on the Board of Trustees for the Center of Strategic and International Studies for the Merit Foundation for People with Disabilities. Bridges from School to Work in 2020, she was named number 1 on Fortune's Most Powerful Women in Business. Julie holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Claremont McKenna College and Juris Doctor from Columbia Law School. This is the organizational chart of Accenture headed by their CEO Julie Sweet, Jaime Ardila, Tracy Travis, following Herbert Heiner and Nancy McKinstry.
Accenture office locations quartered in Dublin, Ireland, and has 317 office locations across 51 countries. In Philippines, there is an Accenture company located in different parts of the area in Metro Manila like Quezon City, Makati, and Mandaluyong.
Accenture recruitment process. Their recruitment process is just like in the other BPO company. They will start in assessment process, which they will ask you some questions if you are really qualified for the position that you applied for. Here are some of recruitment process for Accenture recruitment. First, initial interview. After that, they will be having pre-screening. They will check if you pass based on your initial interview. Based on your working experience, and if you have BPO experience, your resume and expectation from the company after you pass, that you can now proceed to second step, which is examination because of the pandemic. They are requiring the applicant to have a desktop or a laptop for online examination. In this category, you will expecting grammar, analyzation, logic, and solving problem. After that process, they have some pronunciation tests and they will check if you can compose grammar. The hardest part in online examination that you have to pass is when they give you a certain topic and you have to explain it in a certain time. Like you have to talk for 3 minutes without even stuttering. If you pass the online examination, you will now in final interview. If you make it, you will now in pre-employment.
Accenture PHs continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. The health and well-being of their people remains the highest priority. They have continued to monitor and consider the guidance of the external experts and the group, including the international health organizations and Philippine health authorities, in alignment with the government national vaccine deployment plan. Accenture will cover the cost of the COVID-19 vaccinations for their people in the Philippines who are eligible and choose to receive it. They are grateful to their people for their experience and resilience as they work together to manage through these extraordinary times. The pandemic is happening during a period of exponential technology change, which was already driving entirely new ways of doing business. Under Future System Research last year, Accenture identified the top 10% of companies in terms of technology adoptions, depth, and cultures where the leaders are performing twice as well. Accentures believe COVID immediately widened the gap and see the leaders doubling down their investment, while the laggard recognize the need to accelerate the pace of their information. This crisis is unique in two ways. First, it has created the largest ever change in human behavior at scale and almost instantaneously requiring companies to fill new demand trends. Change how they engage with customers then adapt quickly to volatile market conditions, all of which require a strong digital foundation just as they also face massive cost pressures. This COVID-19 outbreak has shown us that most organizations were not prepared to deal with a worldwide crisis of this magnitude. Fortunately, we can adapt how we operate and get work done out of an office with technologies such as contact centers. Working from home is nothing new. The technology to do it has been available for more than 15 years. However, During this new reality, some organizations are now figuring out how to conduct business as usual during the unexpected times, discovering video conferencing, remote team collaboration, and distributed contact centers, among other tools.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. My name is Richard Cardo Biros Mundo from Team Accent, and I will discuss about charitable acts of Accenture. This topic is a focus on four main areas, which is education, environmental, livelihood, and emergency relief. And one of these is education. Education, in Accenture call this a Accenture program or AET that they gives their employees opportunities to show or to share their knowledge and expertise, especially by using technologies. And Accenture also, they partnered with colleges, universities, and public schools to increase the computer literacy like COBOL, Java, and NET. But Accenture also partnered with a non-profit organization which is a Hands-on Manila to improve the literacy of Filipino children in providing arts and crafts classes on the children. And the second one is environmental. And when we say environmental, it's all about tree planting, coastal cleanup, habitat conservation, and waste segregation. And all those four, Accenture also do that acts, or they have a program, because Accenture believes that the health of its business is extremely linked to the health of environment, which means that if you have a business but you really don't care about the surroundings or the environment, your will be a extinguishable business, just like that. And the third one is livelihood. Livelihood, or GK or Gawad Kalinga, Accenture will also rebuild 8 projects, and their volunteers build a house for the poor peoples in different areas of Metro Manila. I think Accenture that was so very humane and kind company. That's for me. I think I should apply to their company someday. What do you think? And the last one is emergency relief. Accenture not only giving a house or build a house for the poor people and rebuild projects, but they give also a relief goods to the people, which is the victim of the disasters or natural calamities of our country. Our next topic is skills succeed. And Accenture aims to educate other people to help them acquire skills or knowledge to participate in and contribute to our economy. And Accenture also, they established a fully equipped learning facility called Accenture Ideas Exchange Room in 4 universities, which is Polytechnic University of the Philippines or PUP, and University of the Philippines or UP Diliman, University of Makati, and Pamantasan Lungsod ng Maynila or PLM. And Accenture Gawad Kalinga Community Development Foundation Incorporated helps educate Gawad Kalinga communities on sustainable livelihood programs. And Accenture Foundation gives $2 million to Leonard Cheshire to expand the access to livelihood, which is giving an opportunity to the people who have a disability or PWDs in the Philippines and South Asia to contribute to our economy. And that's the Accenture how to help.
Here's the quote from Accenture. Is there anyone can read for us? Right. In front of you guys, the right word that we already have to be successful. Every single person in this world has that, but we have to enhance it. It is like riding in a motorcycle for the very first time. If you didn't get your key and push the start, it won't move. Even if you steer it for how many years, it would never move. Unless you push the start and squeeze the gripper to make it move until you learn how to drive it. If we want to succeed in our life, we have to do something. We have to start something. We have to squeeze our own gripper. We have to practice and we have to learn to be able to do that. We have to take the risk. Don't be afraid and don't be insecure. Because insecurity and doubtness in ourselves can eat us alive. If we want something, we have to learn how to love it. Everything about it, even if it has positive or negative outcome. Failures and rejection, we have to embrace it because we will learn from that. If you are praying in your whole life and you don't want to take a risk, you ain't go anywhere, guys. That's all we have to say, man. Thank you for hearing us.